And we are live on Twitch, or you are catching this on YouTube, you're catching this on the rewind. But in either case, we appreciate you for watching this. Go ahead, if you're on YouTube, that is, and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification. So when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you will be one of the first people to know and can make the conscious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or later. As long as you watch it, we appreciate you. And do all those kind of similar type things over on Twitch as well. Not as familiar with the platform as of yet, but certainly appreciate you in whatever platform you're watching this. But been to a couple of good comic book shops, including picking up my new comic book day finds at the LCS. So if you want to see what I picked up today, stay tuned for the video. So at the time of this recording, I have been to 5 comic book shops in the past 2 days, including my LCS, the other shop in town, as it's known, and I have been to several out of town. 2 were the same comic shop, just different locations. I had never been to the one in Texarkana, Arkansas. Yeah, I think it's on the Arkansas side. And picked up some good finds there, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But I do want to go ahead and recognize the YouTube channel members. Thank you to the YouTube channel members that have come along beside the channel and have helped in growing the channel by contributing your membership dollars. It is much appreciated. Also, the Patreon members. And so if you buy books from me, the Patreon is probably a little more up your alley and getting your value for your buck if you had to choose one or the other, but you can choose both. If you're watching this on YouTube, and you can see that join button right below this video, you can click it. It's as simple as that to join. Or if you're watching this on a mobile device or on Twitch, the description is in the video. So appreciate everyone. Also, visit GoCollect.com for these ever-increasing comic book prices and find out what your books are worth on the market. So the first stop, I think I've got these in relative order. When you start grabbing these bags and throwing them here and throwing them there, they get a little bit out of order. So let's see here. These are from that one shop. So I picked up a couple from the other shop on the other side of town. The good thing about that shop is occasionally you can find deals. Their bins have not been picked through because they're nowadays more of a Warhammer, Magic the Gathering type store. Even though when they bought the name that they currently use, it was more of a comic book store. I just think the owner knows a little bit more about the other. Maybe he sees more growth in the other. I don't know, but I'm sure we've all been in those comic book stores before, and they check the eBay prices and all that kind of aggravating stuff. But they do also get some more copies of stuff that I might not have been picking up than what my LCS does. So if I miss something, a lot of times I might can just go over there and pick it up, because nowadays, at least at my LCS, and tell me your experience down in the description below, but at my LCS, it is not very big, and so they don't really get an awful lot of back issues, meaning and I don't know, maybe he's just filling me with a line of bull, but he's like, well, I ordered it, but it hasn't come in yet, or whatever. But I picked up Darth Vader. This is 33 of 36 for the 40th anniversary covers. I haven't been picking up all of these. I mainly stick with the A covers on Darth Vader and the Star Wars main title. But this one was pretty cool. I had already ordered the A cover, so I missed that. I am your father. And this is Darth Vader number 11. Also got, this is at a later shop in Monroe, Louisiana, but I also got the Usagi Yojimbo Halloween Comic Fest. I don't know if this is free comic book day from this year or a previous one. I call myself picking up all the ones because last year, because of the virus and everything, everything just came out all at one time. And I call myself getting it, but maybe I missed this one. Also picked up from there Catwoman 30, Jenny Frizen variant. So several people had told me I was missing out on Catwoman. I had picked up a couple of issues through the DC comic book packs of Catwoman, both in Future State and also the current run. Rom V writing, Joella Jones on the art. And so I said, well, let me check that out. So I picked that up. This was in one of their boxes in the other comic book shop in town. And so I picked this up. Didn't get a steal, but they didn't take me to the cleaners either because it's a pretty good shape. Incredible Hulk 324. This is the return of the Gray Hulk. If you recall, if you know Hulk, you know that he started out gray and then they turned him green because the ink was a little easier to do. And then this is when he came back all those issues later. Also picked up Hellfire Gala Trading Company, garbage, hot garbage water. Yeah. Anyways, so these are the ones that I picked up from the shop in Monroe, Louisiana. So it's a little shop called Infinity Collectibles. It's West Monroe. For those people who might be watching in the Monroe area, you don't want to be connected with West Monroe. They say it's two different places. It's across the river, but anyway, I digress. So, but occasionally you'll find some good deals. The owner is very talkative, which I like, and I get to chit-chat it up with him. I was probably in there an hour and a half just talking, comic shop talk. Which is always fun to do. And when you can pick up some comics on the cheap, it's even better. So picked up this X-Men Classic number 75 out of the dollar bin. Not only is it a newsstand, it is also an Adam Hughes cover. Of course, this is the X-Men Classic or the reprint for when Rogue joined the X-Men, but this is Adam Hughes' take on that cover. Also picked up a couple of Journey into Mysteries from the dollar bin, just simply because Beta Ray Bill was in it and it was $1. So $6.53. I don't know anything about this run. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. $6.54. $6.52. $6.55. And then this is the bigger find that I found in the dollar bin. And if you're not familiar with it, go check it out. What is going on, you winner chicken dinner? You are the first person to make a comment since I started streaming on Twitch. So congratulations. Thank you. So this is the bigger find, and if you're not familiar with this title, if you're not my age or older and remember the cartoon, or if you're not familiar with what the books are, go check it out. Go collect.com would be a good place, the plug from earlier. But this is Dino Riders number 3. This is the only one that I needed to complete the set, and this is the last issue, so go check it out. It's quite the pricey book, and it's in really good shape to have found it in his dollar bin, no less, with no board and bag. So always hate to go in that dollar bin. You get all excited and you go, only to see it trashed as it has been rustled and tussled in the dollar bin. Also picked up Incredible Hulk 127 15-cent goodness here, folks. This is the first appearance of Mogul. I don't know that that really matters as much as the fact that it's an early Hulk. Herb Trimpe on the art. 15-cent goodie right there. Also picked up Hulk 314. Don't think this is any kind of key or anything like that. Just Incredible Hulk. 1985. Yep. Tales to Astonish, which the Incredible Hulk became Tales to Astonish, and then picked back up in, I think, issue 101. And so decided I picked up a lot of these Tales to Astonish. Spoiler alert! Picked up a lot of the Tales to Astonish by a YouTube community member, and they should be on their way to me shortly. And of course, I'll be unboxing that at that time. But yep, the Prince and the Puppet. So it must be the Puppet Master messing with, yep, Namor there. So they would go back and forth. Namor would be on one cover, Hulk would be on another, Namor, Hulk, so on and so forth. Also got Catwoman 27 because I think I had 25 and got 30 as you saw a while ago. Picked up this one. Nice Jenny Frison cover. Jenny Frison really kills it. And one of the community members let me know about a Shadow Man #1. Now, Jenny Frison really does the ladies really well, but did that Shadow Man 1 variant, and we'll have to see about getting that. Incredible Hulk 384. This is my jam. This is back when I was collecting reading Incredible Hulk. Peter David, Dale Keown at their best. Infinity Gauntlet crossover. So for the Infinity Gauntlet in the comic books, Thanos made Hulk tiny and spec'd him down to Earth. Changed it up a little bit because they didn't at that time own the rights to Silver Surfer, so Marvel had to do things a little bit differently. But this is what he did, and then he hops through a portal and comes back, and the rest is history. Incredible Hulk 386 with Israel's mutant protector, Sabra. And I was, I wonder if I can get something done while I'm over in Israel with her. Maybe I can get some foreign comics while I'm over there. That'd be cool. Geomancer, Guardian of the Earth. A little Chromium Valiant goodness. You knew I had to throw a Valiant in there somewhere, but Chromium Valiant goodness right there. Geomancer #1. I got my one of my copies, signed by Rags Morales, who is the artist on this, at the Huntsville Comic and Con and Pop Culture Expo a couple of weeks ago. And I picked up another copy of this. So I had gotten the A cover from my LCS, but this is the maybe the Del Otto. I was going to say Brooks, but I know Del Otto's been doing a lot of these covers, little Joker baby dolls and Punchline in there. But this got to be a hot book. Before I knew it, they were all gone. The guy in Monroe, he didn't order many copies, and a lot of times you can snipe some hot books real quick there. But this is the first appearance of Bane's daughter, and that is the reason why it was got to be a hot book. So I think I'm going to keep that one and get rid of the A cover because I like that one better. Also, I picked up 116 from my LCS. Unfortunately, it's the Sophie Campbell cover. Nothing against, I'm assuming Sophie is a girl, but nothing against Sophie there. But I like the Eastman covers much better, and in particular with this one, with the guitar in the background, thought it was really nice. Also picked this up. I don't think I'm going to keep this. I think I'm going to sell it over on the Saturday Morning Cartoon Crew auction at 1 p.m. Central Time on my YouTube channel. And this is a reprint, as all the X-Men Classic were. But this is during that time that Adam Hughes was doing the covers on these. So pretty nice. There. I think this is the other bag from yesterday. Yeah. Also picked up from the other comic shop a True Believers copy of Incredible Hulk 400 something. It's first appearance of the Thunderbolt, so it's only $1. I recently picked the original up of this, so I was glad to get that. However, Falcon and Winter Soldier did not introduce the Thunderbolts. They did set the stage, So that book has gotten pretty hot as of late. Detective Comics 1035. I was at one time getting both the A and the B covers, but these Lee Bermejo cover, I just decided to just go with the one. And the Lee Bermejo covers, I think, are the better, more consistent of them. Very dope. Really can't see that. Pardon the lighting. Part of it's the fact it's a dark cover. Picked up the Marvel previews, as I'm apt to do, especially in light of this people making these previews become these huge things these days. But this is the Marvel previews, and it's got Moon Knight #1. Steve McNiven did a really good job channeling the David Finch Moon Knight right there. Erratic number 5 of 5. I've been enjoying this series. These are kind of some new ones here, but this is from AWA Upshot. It's really listed as a teen book, but it's real fun, very Spider-Man-esque, but it's a very fun book. And hey, you know what they say, always leave your audience wanting for more. So it's issue 5, so that's it, but satisfied with what we found. Batman #5, black and white. Been enjoying these short stories in these Batman black and white covers. Several good options to choose from on getting the big cover. The main thing I don't like about it is the price point, which all of the DC books are going to, but that's another story for another day, eh? We've got X-Men Legends #3. We got the Simonsons back on the X Factor from back in the day. It would be really interesting, and maybe I'll look into find if somebody's done this or not, to find what the sales for X-Men Legends have been as opposed to the run-of-the-mill X-Men book. You know, you have the X-Men title, the main title right now. Used to it was Uncanny, now it's just mainly X-Men. But not the main ones, because you have people that are completionists like myself that just buy it just because it's X-Men, the main title. But comparatively to, say, New Mutants, or comparatively to X Factor or some of these other titles that are out there, I wonder how X-Men Legends compares. And the reason why I ask this is because in these X-Men Legends, they go back and pull some of the stories from the 90s when X-Men was really hot. The X-Men animated series had come out. They were at their peak of the height of their popularity, if you will. A lot of classic creators were working on it. And of course, not the least of which are the Simonsons. And they're doing these issues. Brett Booth had done the earlier stuff. And I think Chris Claremont maybe was on the writing on that. I don't remember now, but how they compare to the run-of-the-mill X title. Because if X-Men Legends is beating, that should say, hey, Marvel, look, people want this classic X-Men. They don't want this all this Hellfire Gala crap that you've got going on. Quit trying to make statements. Just give good stories with the characters everybody appreciates. Very simple. Savage Avengers #20. Been enjoying the Savage Avengers run, and it kind of lulled a little bit. I think it's because, one, during the shutdown, of course, everybody put pens down and they weren't doing anything. And they finally come back, and they originally were going to cancel the book, but the sales were good. So it's like, okay, well, I really wasn't planning on it for going any longer. So what do you do now? Then on top of that, you throw in a couple of tie-ins that had nothing to do with nothing on King of Black, just so people would have to buy it or want to buy it if they're completionists. But now, hopefully, they're back to just, the oddball pairings of Conan and other superheroes. This is a really cool reflection cover, Steven Spott, if you're watching this. And Jerry Duggan, I think, does a good job on Savage Avengers. Beta Ray Bill, I have already read this one. It's really good. I feel like this is really exploring Beta Ray Bill, maybe in a way that we haven't seen before. The art leaves a little to be desired. It's not Walt Simonson for sure, or some of the other greats that have done Beta Ray Bill over the years. But I feel like this has given us in-depth or insight into his character and where does he go from here. Kind of spoiler alert, but we know Stormbreaker is going to come back. They're already figuring it. They're already hinting at it, all that kind of stuff. So we know Stormbreaker is going to come back. That was a really cool scene in Thor, where Thor smashed the Stormbreaker hammer, but we pretty much knew that's going to come back. Darth Vader number 11. I showed off the Empire Strikes Back cover, but this is the A cover, which I had picked up from my LCS. It's been a really good story. Greg Pak's on it, which is a pretty consistent writer. Once and Future number 18. With this cover, I don't know if it's kind of cover foolery, as we will have sometimes, but with this cover, you kind of leads to believe that things may be wrapping up with them. It says to be continued at the end, and I don't see where it says when the next issue is going to be, so I might be right about that. But this is another one that was set to be just like a 6-part mini, and it becomes so popular that they continued it on, and you kind of felt it throughout the storytelling. So it was really good, and it's like, okay, you can really tell that they're stretching out the same storyline just to make it last, just to sell a couple of books. It's issue 18, so it's outlived. I mean, it's 3 times as long as what it originally intended to be. It had very little. I was about to drop it. The next issue is like, okay, this might be going somewhere, so maybe it's coming to a conclusion, as all good stories eventually do, right? You let it cool off, you come back, maybe they're a kid, maybe another adventure, whatever, but not dragging out the same story. Crossover number 6. This has been really good. This has been the best issue yet, and so we'll see what Kate's has in store. I've said it before on my channel that Kate's does not finish well in my mind. God Country was great, but King in Black, meh. Okay, all this build up for Venom to come in, smack Nola around like he was nothing. So hopefully it's not just, hopefully the rest of crossover lives up to the hype. And if this issue is any indication as to whether or not it will or not, we're in good shape. Robin number 1. When you have Silver Age Dave of YouTube fame spec on a book, you got to go after it, right? I was kind of on the fence about this because when it comes to new comic books, very picky. I have cut new comic books in lieu of that, buy older stuff that I was interested in getting, use those funds for other things. If you've been watching my YouTube videos as of late, which I encourage you to do so, especially if you're watching this from Twitch and you're not familiar with my YouTube channel, check it out if you like comic book related content. But I was on the fence about it because I'm not a real big Damian Wayne fan. However, when Silver Age Dave went on and on about it, I went on to no, there was a short story. I think it was in Batman with him and his mom, which is Talia al Ghul. I said, I'm gonna give it a try. Give it a try. So this was the best cover of the ones I had that my LCS had, so I got that. Berserker number 2. We knew where this was going. This is basically Wolverine-esque. This is basically John Wick on steroids. If you read the first issue, there were brains, blood, and all this other everywhere. Great. Gratuitous violence. Awesome. Now, hopefully with number 2, we're going to get into telling the story. What's interesting to me is because as many first prints, variants, all that kind of stuff that this cover had, and there were some good ones. I like the Mark Brooks one, but you would think it's not going to be worth anything. But these things have been going for a killer money. Is it a sign that Berserker's really popular, or is it just because it come out as you're at the height of the market? I don't know. Time will tell. For me, I'm not paying $100 to $200 for a Berserker variant, not when there's so many of them out there. But hey, that's just me. Cable number 10. The series is going to be coming to an end, and I'm glad for the way they're going to end it. Old Man Cable's coming back. Young Man Cable's going away. They've been hinting at it. This is 2 more issues left. I think it ends at issue 12. And if you look at the previews and such, you can see that this is coming to an end. It's been okay as far as a run on Kid Cable and the take on it. It's okay, but I wasn't a fan of getting rid of the old man Cable and loot of the Kid Cable in the first place. So these are some that I picked up at the Infinity Comics in Monroe, Louisiana. Eternals number 2. This is a variant edition. Wasn't really hip on the cover, but I like the main A cover. However, I needed 2 to complete the set, so it's up to 4. I think 4 came out last week or week before, and I had been recommended this series. I picked up number 1 in one of the Walmart packs. And so decided and picked up 3 and 4, needed 2, so I just decided to get that to read it, see what it was about. Picked up Catwoman Future State number 2, just to finish the story because I had number 1 from one of the Walmart packs. Picked up Immortal Hulk Flatline. This is one of the one-shots that they've been doing with Immortal Hulk. So there is a shop that I frequently visit in Shreveport, Louisiana called Excalibur Comics. It's the shop. There's only one. Because I wouldn't count Second and Charles as a comic book shop. They do have new comics, but there's really no selection to speak of. So if you're coming to Shreveport, Louisiana, and you want to go to a comic shop, Excalibur's your deal. They're not very friendly in there. Some people are okay with that. I want the deals. I guess if I had to have deals over friendliness, I guess I could take that. But you really don't even get deals unless you find something that just spiked and they haven't caught it yet, type deal. So they have another location in Texarkana, Arkansas. So I went to that today and checked it out, and I was able to. They were a lot more friendly in there. And I was able to pick up some stuff, oddball stuff that you just don't see all the time, and was able to pick up some stuff on the cheap. I did find this right here, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 98. Nice copy of this. Certainly a lot cheaper because for years it's like, Spot, who cares? Whatever. But he has been spec'd to be in a new Spider-Verse movie, and this book really popped. So what I did there? Pop, Spot. There. Also picked up Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 100, which I presume is the 3rd appearance. And then I picked up 99, which is the 2nd appearance of Spot from them. Picked up Incredible Hulk, number 1. Already have one of those, so don't fret. This is the volume 2. Originally, they just had the Hulk, and eventually, some point during the run, they added the Incredible back to it. So this is part of the Incredible Hulk run, and started in April of '99. So this is issue 1. John Byrne, Ron Garney, who, if you're reading Berserker, which I mentioned earlier, is doing the art. So he's the one that done the art on this, and whoever that green guy is. Kind of fitting, right? But John Byrne. That's issue 1. Then we got issue 458. We got 115. I used to have a copy, I might still have it, Marvel Legends. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what figure came with it. Maybe the leader, but I thought I got the leader. But yeah, this is, I think, Herb Trimpe as well. And so Hulk, 12-cent goodness right there. Lo, the leader lives. Then we've got a True Believers copy of Incredible Hulk, something or another, 200 something, but it's the first appearance of Quasar, which I was able to pick up on the cheap from Lady Fantastic on our Saturday morning cartoon crew, and so decided to pick this up for $1. recognize this book. That's right, because I show the original and picked up the True Believers there today for $1. This is Incredible Hulk number 5, I believe. Dang, it's already good. The stack bin these will do typically. I believe this is 5. And I've almost bought this copy. There's a shop in South Louisiana that has a copy of this. I almost bought that several times, but just hadn't quite pulled the trigger yet. If you've been following my channel, you know that one of the goals for me this year was to get any of the Incredible Hulk 1 through first 5 or 6. I've already got number 1, so I kind of got the big one out of the way. This is Bizarre Adventures. So there is a magazine, or was a magazine, called Bizarre Adventures, and this is the cover to one of those issues. And has a lot of great creators on that story. And I bought this story already, this magazine's already slabbed. And the thing that stands out to me is it was sitting on my desk and I happened to bump it and knocked it off and cracked the slab. But it was already slabbed, so I haven't been able to read it. And it's Chris Claremont writing it, some other folks, I think Sal or John Buscema on the art. So the colors on this, so we've got some classics on here. And I saw this for $1. So, boy, I can read it, see what it's all about. Look at Jean Grey acting like she's on a Broadway show. New York! Yeah, that's right. Then we've got Quantum and Woody, number 21. I believe this is the last issue of this particular volume of Quantum and Woody. And Christopher Priest, who's better known probably for his Black Panther run. But Christopher Priest wrote this. I think it might be the co-creator of, or the creator of Quantum and Woody. But if you know, leave me a comment down below. But this is the last issue of that run, I believe. And this is what I'm talking about. You'll see these few that I picked up at the shop. You can tell they're in older bags. They've been there a while. Still okay, but it's just they've been there a while, back when all this stuff was popular at the end of the 90s, first of the 2000s, and they've been going through multiple times, and nobody's bothered to pick them up until today. Then we got Armed and Dangerous, Legends in Their Own Minds, Hell's Slaughterhouse by Bob Hall. Now, Bob Hall was the creator of Shadow Man, and this is Acclaim Comics crime fiction suggested for mature audiences. I don't know if I qualify for that. I have to look into that. Anyway, this is Armed and Dangerous, and this was some one-shots that they did in Acclaim, which Acclaim had bought Valiant and so on and so forth. So these weird Acclaim books like this, you can go to mycomicshop.com. You can go to eBay and probably find them. But when you start talking about shipping and the price people are going to ask for them on eBay or mycomicshop.com, just because they have to cover their fees and all that kind of stuff, which I understand. It's just, it makes it cost prohibitive in my mind, because it makes the comic that's not really worth that much. Because when I buy a comic, I like to buy it thinking that if something happened, I lost my job or whatever, that I pretty much could piecemeal it out and get my money back. Right? I mean, not make money necessarily, at least get my money back. And with that stuff, it's a very niche market for those Acclaim titles. Not everybody's weird like me. So, you know, you wait, and then it is more rewarding to be able to find those things like that, like this rather, when you're out there on the hunt and blow the dust off of it and find stuff like this. It's pretty rewarding, part of the thrill of the hunt. Armed and Dangerous, this is Hell's Slaughterhouse. This is the 4-part mini of Armed and Dangerous. This is issue 4. Also found Wolverine number 86. This is from volume 3, if you count the first miniseries as first volume. This is Wolverine down there. That's Dakin up there, or Dakin, tomato, you know. And then Romulus up here, which Romulus is the guy that stole Dakin and raised him. Then we got Wolverine number 81. This is during the Siege event, and so Dakin was masquerading as Wolverine at that time. So I completed that run today. So pretty cool. Armed and Dangerous, an eye for an eye. Or issue 1 of the miniseries. Or issue 2 of the miniseries. So I feel sorry for the poor guy that goes in there and goes, "Oh, Armed and Dangerous. There's only an issue 3. Where's the rest of them?" That's because I already had issue 3 and found it in a dollar bin somewhere. So now he's the one that's going to have to go hunt for the rest of them. And so I just picked up the ones I needed, of course. Quantum and Woody number 12. This is from the 2012, I believe, relaunch of this title. And this is the last, I know this one is the last issue of this run on that. Then we got Shadow Man number 13. Or Operation Stormbreaker. So they did some wonky stuff with the Exo Man of War when Acclaim bought Valiant out, which all the titles got really wonky towards the end. And then when Acclaim rebooted them and retconned a bunch of stuff to make it more video game friendly, which was their whole main deal, it didn't help the wonkiness. If anything, it made it worse. And when they did it with the Exo suit, they did some Nazi stuff. And of course, the interesting thing nowadays, I mean, this was the mid to late 90s. What was acceptable to put on a comic book cover, even as late as the 90s, which you would never see today. Never see today. Not that I'm not saying that you should promote it, but if it was there, and this is who you're fighting, you're not glorifying that said practice, obviously. Then we went to the Excalibur in Shreveport, the main store, and went through some bins and filled in some runs that I was needing. The Incredible Hulk number 6. Hulk smashes man thing. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Hulk, the big green guy, going up against the other big green guy, issue number 6. So there's a little hole in the run there. Then we got Wolverine number 82. And then number 24. That's when John Romita Jr. was doing the art on that. Then got Wolverine number 44. Immortal Hulk number 10. This is probably the biggest book that I bought, singular big book of these past couple of days. And this is the first appearance maybe of the one below, or the Green Gate or something like that. But Alex Ross goodness right there. Wolverine number 42. This is the second print. The first print was more than what the second print is at the shop. However, if you check the values, the second print's worth more. You know, the second print thing being worth more than the first print is a newer thing in collecting. Used to, it was that the first print was always worth more. But that's not always the case these days. Then we got Incredible Hulk 50. Pretty sick looking Hulk cover there. Number 13. So Ron Buscema was on this, and then Ron Garney and Jenkins. So Byrne was already off by this time in that run. Issue 17. Issue 18. Thunderbolt Ross action there. Issue 19. Psych. Who says that anymore, right? But they said it a lot back then. We said it a lot back then. Issue 27. You know, they have rebooted these titles and rebooted these titles, even though I imagine that it's probably the fandom, but it's probably them wanting to have an excuse for milestones as much as anything. But I guess this is kind of the compromise of those two. You have both the legacy numbering and the old numbering, you know, which I'd be okay with. I mean, that's kind of a compromise, right? If you want to get somebody in on a book, and because the argument is that nobody's going to want to come in on Incredible Hulk 501, but at 27, they can say, okay, well, I'm not that far in. But yeah, it's kind of a lame argument anyway. But John Romita Jr. was on that run of Hulk at that time. Incredible Hulk 21. Take me to the leader. Kyle something. Art looks kind of familiar. Got 22. Got issue 42. That's some really cool covers during this little run of Incredible Hulk. They had the monsters in the island. What's the name of that book? But this one, then they had the serial one. They had the one like the Saturday Evening Post. Lee Weeks on the art there. This is issue 47. Covers like this. There was one for an homage to Apocalypse Now. Then we have Incredible Hulk 51. What kind of dental plan does he have? We got 56. So you can see me kind of jumping kind of in order here because I was just going through that box and finding those that I like. Okay, if I get these 2 or these 4, now I've got 10 or I've got 20 in a row. That's just because I'm weird like that. I'm not a key chaser necessarily, so I'm filling a run, and yeah, I'd rather be able to look at my CLZ app and say you got 20 in a row, as opposed to okay, you got 30, but they're all over the world. So what I was doing initially, when I was in denial that I wasn't collecting Incredible Hulk, I was just picking them up, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. I was just, but in random, I wasn't picking them up. I wasn't seeking out. So like today, I really was seeking to fill those holes in the run based on the ones that I've already got at this point, if that makes sense. So I might have already got 30, finding them out of dollar bins, off of random YouTube auctions and the like. I was just filling in the runs today in a store where I knew, you know, okay, I'm not going to pay that much for them, and can make some big headway. So this is Incredible Hulk 58. Hide in plain sight. Yeah, it'd be kind of tough to hide that in plain sight. He's fixed to teabag this girl for some reason. Then we've got issue 60, Split Decisions. And of course, Hulk is full of split decisions. This is Mike Deodato goodness right there. So this is 60, and that one was 58. So I wonder if 60 is where Mike Deodato started on Hulk. Maybe so. Also picked up this at the shop in Monroe, which is Uncanny X-Men Annual number 14, first appearance of Gambit. Picked it up on the cheap from him, and but I've already got a newsstand and a direct copy. My direct copy is the 9/8 that I got signed by Chris Claremont. So, I'm not going to keep that copy. I'll sell it to somebody, or on Instagram, or over on the Saturday Morning Cartoon Crew auction on YouTube at 1 o'clock. Actually, it will be streaming live to Twitch Saturday as well. I know that you can put in stuff and I can post it there. We'll have to work through those little nuances. And picked up some boards and bags because I was going to be needing some of those. And that is it. I appreciate you taking the time live on Twitch or on the rewind on the YouTube. Be sure to leave a like on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Bebop over there and subscribe to the channel if you're watching this on Twitch. Because I'm always giving away stuff over on YouTube. And if I stream live like this, it's fine, but if I pre-record something, I'm not able to upload it, to my understanding, on Twitch as of yet. I think you have to meet some kind of criteria similar to the way I had to do to get monetized on YouTube. But in either case, share the channel out, and I appreciate that. Also, if you're not following me over on Instagram, I'm posting comic-related stuff over there almost every single day. Post updates. I'm currently, at the time of this filming, fixing to give away Marvel Team Up 141, first appearance of the Black Suits Spider-Man, and it can be yours. And all you have to do is go like that post, follow the channel, and tag 5 people in there. And when I get 2,500 followers, I will be giving that away. And we're only 2,500. I'm only 22. Maybe 17 away. Math's not working right now, but hopefully everybody is doing well and staying safe out there. Shout out again to the channel members, whether you're following and supporting the channel on YouTube or Patreon. We appreciate you. Visit GoCollect.com for all of your comic book questions regarding your values. And, well, until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.